We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Jaylen Wright, Miami Dolphins running back, number 25, and I actually think he just needs to be fed and more featured in this offense. Even with Raheem Mostert returning, I think his skill set is kind of what the Dolphins need right now. I think everyone kind of needs to, get their take in the backfield, but I feel like Achan's just getting too many touches, and it's kind of limiting, his big play value. I feel like he looks like he's been a little bit banged up on some of these plays. I feel like if you get Jaylen Wright more involved, even with Raheem coming back, but these guys who are a little more bigger body, who can run like on the gap scheme interior stuff, because teams are heavy playing for these like tosses, outside zone, playing their outside leverage. And I think, having guys that can work the interior, maybe deal more of a punishment to teams out there, that is very, very helpful. And then you can have Achan get more high value touches, like in the receiving game. I mean, look at right block there too. And then you have more high value touches for Achan, and then you can, like, when the team starts to get tired out there, less disciplined, you can have Achan hit some of these bigger lanes once they open up, because I feel like Wright has been coming in later in the game and seeing some bigger lanes once, the defenses are tired out, and I feel like that could be a better role for, like, an Achan to take advantage of. And you still have, like, with Mostert and Jaylen Wright, they still obviously have that big play ability. I just think that's better for the rotation if they see that, and you can, I think, be a little more run-heavy early on, too, with some of these bigger backs. I think I prefer that rotation where they tire them out, and then you have your really explosive guy take advantage of the undisciplined play later on. And you can still have big plays from Jaylen Wright, as you see. But I think you can just run more down the middle, running like inside zone, gap scheme stuff. Wright is very comfortable with that. That's what he did mainly in college. He didn't run a lot of outside zone. I think he can do it. But I think there's like inconsistencies at time with his vision and stuff like that. But when he can get downhill in a hurry, they, run some sift here with the tight end. He's able to work off the back of his block. Look how he reads this, like, off Jackson. Like, he reads the leverage of this defender here, and he wants to get to the back of it, but he's trying to get up through this side because that's where his aiming point is. So he works off the back of Jackson, but stays tight to it, stays patient, stays square. Knows he doesn't just want to run straight to space here because he's going to get tackled for like 4 or 5 yard gain, but he's anticipating how this is going to play out. I love the anticipation, love how he sees this. Off the back of this block, he sees through it that this, Eichenberg can cut him off. If he can stay tight to this block, which he does, and then get around it, all he needs is him to just shield him off the linebacker long enough, and then he gets that second level, bounces off a tackle, like, just a punishing guy out in space, especially when he can build up speed, because he's a bigger body and has all of that speed. I feel like Jaylen Wright can just really, really break out, and to me, out of the rookie class, I can see him being the most productive if given the opportunity. In this year one, at least. Just thinking of the guys in this class, I feel like especially with Tua out, I would like to see Jaylen Wright, Raheem Mostert, Achan all reach around double-digit touches, like all having like 10 to 15 touches, depending, and then like certain guys maybe go up and down depending if they get hot, and then you can ride the hot hand. I wouldn't mind like a 3-headed rotation out there. I think it would be actually a pretty good thing for them, but Wright was just making plays towards the end of this game versus Tennessee, making quick, decisive reads. Yeah, like they're trying to run some like zone read stuff. Him hit up this gap right here off the back of this block. Once this guy like falls over, gets a little contested up in here, he sees all the space to the outside. Make a quick cut. Look at him pick up his legs there, work through contact, stick his foot in the ground off that to then get upfield vertically, fall forward for yards. I just feel like, he can pick up some hidden yardages on the inside that maybe you're not quite getting out of Achan right now. Because, Achan was really inefficient versus the Titans game. And to be fair, the Titans' run defense is very, very good. So I think they're going to find more balance versus other defenses. Because they've actually ran the ball pretty successfully on the interior. I just think, it looks like Achan was tired out there and definitely looked a little banged up. But then Wright was able to come in with some fresh legs. I think that would be helpful being a run-first committed team. They just have to be able to have some sort of lead or keep the game close for them to actually do that. But then Wright can also hit some of these things to the outside, these toss plays. This is the one where like looks like they're going to run like fake dive. And then this one is interesting because usually they actually run like the fake dive toss with the offensive line flow. So this one's actually like a little bit different with how they did this. I think that's why it created some space, but they usually run it with the flow of the O-line, so teams actually end up reading it usually pretty fine. But here the offensive line flows to the right, and the pitch goes back to the left. Looks like it could have been crash toss. They basically leave Wright one-on-one with the outside linebacker. All they had to do was get him to take a couple steps to the inside, and boom, Wright has the speed to get out there. Look how, explosive he is. Should have been called for a horse collar there too, but the speed to capture the edge, which I think is huge. I think being able to build up and get more and more of his confidence going with some of these runs would be nice. I think Jaylen Wright is just being vastly underused right now. Even with, especially because Mostert hasn't been playing. But even with Raheem returning, I still think he should get more and more touches. And more, especially interior stuff. He can do this, Dolphins doing this play action behind the back, outside zone that works with the crack right there. Actually, pretty good work there from Tyreek. Dolphins need more receivers and tight ends that can block. That would help out the running game drastically. But it gets blocked up pretty nicely there. You allowed Wright to get to the outside. I actually think he does this pretty well, setting this up, because this safety is running to fill the alley. He knows he has this block out on the edge. So he basically gets a one-on-one, and he has to make a decision: either stick his foot in the ground and get up field a little bit and just pick up a few yards, or make this guy miss, set him up to the outside, point that toe. You can see long stride, strong lower half, make that miss, boom, then stop, change directions. Now your tight end is pulling him to the outside, then get upfield, fall forward for extra yard. I feel like he did a decent job there, trying to maximize his yardage with how he played that, and the more he plays, the more comfortable. I feel like that would be helpful. And I feel like, just a guy that can definitely go out there and take more of a beating than some of the other running backs on your roster, and that will be huge for later on in the season. And at this point, the season's not looking too great. I feel like he can help you win now, but also if it continues down this path where you just keep losing, I think Wright should be kind of fed and be able to show, what he can showcase. But I loved all the different concepts they use with him. And here they got him motioning. Looks like he might motion across, but he just goes to the opposite side to work that flow. Because out of shotgun, this is such a good look, because usually, if you're on this side, it's going to be really hard unless they toss to run to the left here, or really get to the outside. So it would have to be a toss play. But teams are usually pretty ready for that. So motioning him across like this, changing people's gaps last second, making confusion, and then being able to run basically counter out of it with the action behind the backfield, and then using your fullback and tight end to create that. Up the middle, he's able to read his blocks, stay patient, work off the back of angled here. This is, you're reading that. And once he sees him get engaged, get upfield vertically, get eyes to zero, see that he's getting blocked, pick up his feet in the interior of it all. I feel like he just shows very natural ability with his vision and footwork when he's running between the tackles in the A gap, B gap. Here we had Wright running some routes. I actually like this look, because this is when they would come out. I like their speed package, actually, and I think it's been pretty effective with allowing them to do multiple different things, especially running the ball, because I feel like teams are pretty threatened by it, because that's when they have Tyreek on the field, Waddle on the field, Achane and Jaylen Wright, so they come out in 21, and then the tight ends either Jonnu Smith or Tanner Connor, more the athletic guys, and it just allows you to run the speed down the field. They get Tyreek hit over the middle, so Jaylen Wright doesn't get targeted, but he actually looked pretty smooth running this route. I feel like, in his stem, he's slightly bending this to the outside. He knows he's going to break to the inside, so he bends this to the outside, get these guys to float a little bit, and then I feel like his break across the middle was pretty clean, pretty efficient. Just a quick foot fire, boom, break across the middle. Actually, the Seattle was hard playing them actually for some reason, even though Tyreek and Waller were for the other side, so the numbers weren't there. But I feel like Jaylen Wright ran his route pretty efficiently. If the numbers were more cheated to that side, he could have been able to hit right across the middle too. But nice to see that he's going out there doing some different things, not just running the ball. I feel like he's your best pass protecting back too. Dolphins don't ask their backs to pass protect very often, but Achane is really bad at it. They've only really started doing it once Tua was out. When Tua was on the field, they pretty much never asked their running backs to pass protect. They usually had them leak out into routes. But with some of the backups, and they had Wright come in, and it's not perfect technique, but he stonewalls this DB with really good leverage, and to get that low and not fall over is actually pretty impressive. And not getting hands on, pretty impressive. He was able to pretty much completely stop this guy with no hands initially. Skylar Thompson doing some great work back there on that play. But Jaylen Wright showing some different things. I like the physicality he plays with. I feel like the Dolphins kind of need that in the backfield, and can just do some different things. He gained 7 yards here, and look how heavy the Titans play these toss plays, man. That's why I feel like the interior stuff's so open. As soon as they see the motion across, and everyone's first step is going off to the right a little bit. Imagine if this was a wind back toss. That's why I love the wind back stuff, because if it was a wind-back toss, Alec Ingold would already be working back this way. His first step would be this way, so these guys would still be flowing, and it would be perfect because you'd have the cutoff here. Jones should have the cutoff there, and if the linebackers are flowing across, he would be out of the play. He might be able to peel back to it, but Ingold would lead back up, and then Wright would follow him on that play. That's why I love the wind-back tosses, because teams are so hard playing the crack tosses, getting out to the edge. But he's still able to get out there pretty effectively. Actually, good job here by Julian Hill and Alec Ingold to work together to get that initial player. And then Wright just reads the blocks to get to the outside, sets this up pretty nicely. Once he sees this linebacker work across the face of Julian Hill, stick that foot in the ground, get upfield vertically, try to finish, a run. I like him, dropping his shoulders into safeties and stuff like that, falling forward, picking up like solid 7 to 8 yard gains. I feel like Jaylen Wright was just looking very efficient. He's a guy that I just want to see more from because I feel like he's looked pretty good in his limited touches when he's gotten those chances. I like seeing him and Achane on the field at the same time when Achane's a receiver, because Achane can definitely be one of your better receivers after, Waddle and Tyreek. And that helps you keep both of them on the field, keep both of their threats, but you can give Wright more of those touches, in my opinion, in the running game. So excited to see where it goes, at least. I know some people are down on the season, which, is fair, but want to see where it goes with some of these young guys, at least. I mean, it's not quite over. It's still only week 5. The Patriots game, I'm going to do a stream later today. If you're watching this early on, I'll be streaming New England Patriots game preview, and I'll have clips on their offense, their defense, lots of notes taken. I did a lot of studying, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But so if you guys like the video, make sure to comment, subscribe, and